What's up, guys? This is Alan. So today's question is, should you take credit card payments? Yes or no? What are some of the pros and some of the cons? That's exactly what we're talking about today, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with a quick question for you. When was the last time you used cash to pay for anything? Yeah, that's what I thought. For me, last time I used cash was a few weeks ago, and I was just trying to get change. And it was a $20 bill that I had in my wallet, and it had been sitting there for probably easily over 6 months. I hardly ever use cash to buy anything. So what do you think your customer feels like when you tell them you only take cash? Yeah, it's an inconvenience. Whenever you work for somebody, you want to make their life as easy as possible. And just asking for cash, it's not easy. I understand. If you're just starting out, you don't know if you're going to be doing this for a living. You just want to make some extra hustle money. And you think taking credit cards is going to be complicated. Well, I can tell you guys, it's not. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons of taking in credit cards. Pro number one is convenient. If you work for property management companies, a lot of them, they will not pay you right away. Most times you work on a net 30 days. What that means is you do work today and usually you wait 30 days to get paid. That's the way it works, and most of them usually will pay you online, especially if you accept credit cards. Or they will send you a check. But to be honest, credit cards is easier. Now, let's say you're working for somebody and you need to invoice them. Like, out-of-state homeowners. Most of them, they're not right in front of you to pay you. So it's a lot easier for them to use their card to pay you remotely. I do that all the time. I do work, and then once it's time for me to invoice them, I just use my app real quick, which I'm going to talk about it towards the end of the video. And then I send them an invoice. I can invoice them and they can just click a link and pay online. Or I can make it even easier. I can literally make a QR code payment thing and then just text it to them or email it to them. And they can just literally scan the code and they can use whatever form of payment they wish to pay online. Super easy to do. Now, pro number two is somebody that's paying you with a card is more likely to agree with your prices, not argue about your prices, and even spend more money than if they were actually paying you with cash. I don't know about you guys, but anytime I use cash, it hurts. Even if I'm spending $10, $20, I feel it. Because it's something tangible that is leaving my wallet. It hurts. That's why I don't like using cash. When I use my card, it's like nothing. I just swipe, and then you don't even need to swipe anymore. You just put it right against the machine and contactless, checkout. Super easy to do, and obviously, if you're trying to save money, you're trying to stay out of debt, that's not a good thing, okay? I follow Dave Ramsey, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I do, and then I try, I try to save money and all that. I don't follow him 100%, but I'm not promoting going into debt or anything. Pro number three, besides making it easier for your customers and the likelihood of actually making more money and charging more money, a lot of the times it makes you look more professional. Because you can invoice somebody or take card payments, and usually, I don't know about you guys, but somebody that if you're checking somebody out and they see you take card payments, they know that you're for real, you mean business, you're professional, and it's my belief, I think they respect you a little better, or actually take you more seriously, instead of your run-of-the-mill cash payment handyman that you pick up on the side of the street. But anyway, so I think those are the main pros of taking in card payments. Another thing about card payments, it just makes it a lot easier for tax purposes. You can keep track of, or depending on the application you use or merchant you use, it makes it a lot easier to see how much money you're taking in. So that way at the end of the year, it's just a lot easier to do your taxes. Another thing with card payments too is a lot of these merchants, they will actually automatically save your customers' information. So what that means is it will save their number, it will save their name, so you can literally just, if you need to follow up with your customer, you can go on your merchant account and you can see, date back for a job that you did, let's say a warranty call, and you don't remember. You can go back and see when you did it, you know what you did, and if it's past the warranty period, if you actually guarantee your work. All right, let's talk about the cons, guys. So con number one are the fees. Okay, now depending on the merchant that you actually choose, every time that somebody pays you with a card, the merchant will actually charge you a percentage. So for mine, I use Square. I think if you add all the little fees and stuff, it comes down to about 3%. So for every $100 that I charge through a credit card or payment I take in, Square will charge me $3. For every $1,000, it's $30. It's not really that much money, guys. It's really nothing. And another thing that I've noticed people do is if you're really cheap, you can actually tell the customer that whatever invoice you do, you will add 3% for the processing fee that you're going to get charged. But guys, come on, it's pocket change. I know it adds up at the end of the year, but you can write it off your taxes. So I would rather give my money to Square, which is the little 3%, than to give my money to the government. So I know it's an expense. It adds up at the end of the year. Like for me, at the end of the year, my processing fees are maybe between $1,000 to $2,000, and so I guess that money will be better off in my pocket. But regardless, I would have had to pay taxes on it anyway, so it's no big deal. You can just write it off. All right, con number two, guys, chargebacks. Now this is a huge one. It has never happened to me on this business yet, but the way it works is you just work for somebody, right? And then they can call their bank and say that you didn't do the work, or you did crappy work, or whatever. The bank will always side with the card holder. And then what the bank will do is they will do a chargeback. They will literally take the money out of your account. And all you can do at that point is you can dispute it if the customer is lying, or you can sue them if it's a lot of money. So that's the only, I think the major con of using a credit card is a possible chargeback. I've had this happen to me in another business, which is a retail business. And, people buy stuff and then they just call their credit card company and say that their card got stolen, and then the card company will just take their money back. And it's hard to fight them back. So this is why all the jobs that I do, I take pictures. I take picture of when I get to their house. I take pictures of my work before and after. So if something ever happens like that and somebody uses a card payment, especially on like a large amount, I'm covered, right? And I think those are the main cons that you're gonna face if you actually start taking in credit card payments. Now, is it hard to actually start accepting card payments? No, it's not, guys. Like I said, if you're just starting out, or if you've been in the business for a little while, personally, I use Square. And the reason I like Square is because you can literally go on their website and set up your account within minutes, and you're up and running. You can use your cell phone to check people out. You can send payment links through text message, through email. You can create QR codes. You can invoice people online. I mean, it offers all kinds of stuff. And I'm not being sponsored by them, by the way. I just like them. Another thing that I like about them too is if you they got like mini microloans, okay? And then so if you got a history with them and you're taking a lot of credit card payments, every once in a while they will offer you a loan, okay? Now the loan amount will depend on how much money you actually take in. It could be, a few $100s to several $1,000s. It just depends. And then they don't check your credit score. Literally, it's based on the history in your account, and then you click accept, and then you get the money within 24 hours. I use those loans for like big purchases, and the reason I do is because I like my money in my account. And the reason I like it is because it's not like you do monthly payments to pay it back. The way you pay it back is based on the sale amounts. So what they do is they take a percentage out of every transaction that goes through your account. So for me right now, I'm almost paid off on a loan that I got just a few months ago, and they take 14% out of every credit card payment that I process through my account. And it comes down, the interest rate is actually cheaper than using your credit card. I think for mine was like 12%. So I mean, they don't check your credit score, so that you can easily get a better interest rate somewhere else. But for being so easy, 12%, it's nothing, guys. So just to give you an idea, I mean, for every $1,000 that you borrow, you're gonna be paying back $120. To me, that's nothing. I charge more than that just changing a toilet. That takes me 30 to 45 minutes. So but yeah, so I use those loans every once in a while. Like the reason I got this last one was because I wanted to buy an auger attachment for my skid steer, and it was several $1,000s. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and get this loan, and then I'll pay it off. And they give you like 18 months to pay it back. So it's not like you have to pay it back the next day. And it's not like a monthly thing. So it's just a percentage out of every sale that you do. And every 60 days, I think you have a minimum that you gotta pay. But I usually pay it off in a few months. So I like that about this merchant. I don't know about any others. I'm sure others do the same. But for me, Square's works great. Very easy to set up. And if you're just starting, guys, I mean, you don't lose anything by taking in credit cards, because a lot of people nowadays are not going to be using cash. Like I said, it's just super easy to do. So whether you're just starting out or you're a veteran, I mean, you should be taking credit card payments. And that's my perspective, guys. If you have any questions, you can comment below. As always, and if you like the videos, don't forget to like them, and I will see you next time.